Hello students, in lecture 14 of Calculus of Variation, we will learn how to solve a boundary value problem using the variational methods. Variational method means the methods from Calculus of Variations. So in this lecture, we discuss Rayleigh-Ritz method to solve a boundary value problem, and then we'll discuss one or two examples and then the exercise for your practice. So in variational methods to solve boundary value problems, in this lecture, we are particularly talk about this Rayleigh-Ritz method. So what is this Rayleigh-Ritz method and how it is used for solving a boundary value problem? So before moving on to this solution part, first of all, you should know what is a boundary value problem. A boundary value problem is nothing but an ordinary differential equation that can be homogeneous or non-homogeneous. For example, this is the case of non-homogeneous differential equation because in right hand side we are having the function fx. You have already heard about the homogeneous and non-homogeneous linear differential equations. And the boundary conditions are given that at some point a, y at a is capital A and then y at b is b. So these are the boundary conditions. Now we have to find the approximate solution of 1. What is the meaning of this, that approximate solution of 1? This is the differential equation where y is the dependent variable and x is the independent variable. When we say the solution of this differential equation subject to these boundary condition is that you have to find the value of y in terms of x, and there will be certain constants c1, c2, etc. There will be certain constants in the solution. So exact solution can be determined with the help of the methods of ordinary differential equations. There are, depending on the type of the differential equation, various methods are available in the theory of differential equations. Now the approximate solution of this boundary value problem means we are not going to find this exact solution, but we are going to find the approximate solution. But in certain circumstances or in certain situations in a problem, the approximate solution may be equal to the exact solution. But now when this is the case, when we can find the exact solution of the differential equation, then why we are going to discuss about the approximate solution of a differential equation or a boundary value problem? The reason for this is that in certain differential equations, it is always not possible to get the exact solution for that. Maybe due to the difficult calculations or certain functions which cannot be solved completely. And you want to find the solution of that equation, but you cannot find exact. That means you can find the approximate solution, and there are various methods available in numerical techniques where we can find the approximate solutions of ordinary differential equations. But here in our subject or in this course, we are dealing the calculus of variations. So that is why we are using the variational methods to find the approximate solution of this kind of differential equation or a boundary value problem. First, we construct this method, Rayleigh-Ritz method, basically have certain steps to solve to get the approximate solution of this kind of equation. So in the first step is that we construct a functional iy in such a way that this given differential equation is the Euler equation for extremum of the functional. Now, how we construct this functional, it will be better understood in the numerical problems. But here note one thing only, that You have to construct a functional here so that if you find the extremal of this functional, then you can obtain this given equation. So this is the main cue here to solve this. The underlying idea in this method is that we seek the extremum of the functional. We seek the extremum of the functional Iy, and we do not consider whole space of admissible function, but only all possible linear combination of admissible functions of the form this. Linear combination means you choose the solution of this given boundary value problem in terms of linear combination of certain functions where c1, c2 and up to cn, these are the constants, and yi's are the space of functions, and these are also called the system of coordinate functions. The function yi, xi's are such that they form a complete system of function and are linearly independent. Moreover, yi's satisfy the homogeneous boundary condition y at a equal to 0 and y at b equal to 0 in the choice function yx. In this choice function yx, this one you should keep in mind, this one, these yi means y1, y2, yn are in such a way that they satisfy these boundary conditions y at a equal to 0 and y at b equal to 0. Now substituting 4 in 3, 4 means this choice function. From here you get yx and you differentiate it, you get y dash x, and whatever the value of yx and y dash x comes out, you should substitute it in the functionals which you have constructed. After substituting the values here, definitely you are going to solve the integral. You are going to solve the integral, this part. This is an integral. When you substitute here value of y and y dash and then you solve this integral, definitely after substituting the limits x and y dash, all the things will be eliminated and you will be getting certain functions c1, c2 and cn, and that way this integral I now becomes the function of c1, c2 and cn. Now how to determine these constants? This is next problem here. We know that if you want to, because you want to find the extremal for this I, and if a function involves n variables, then the necessary condition for the existence of extremum of n variable for a function of n variables is that the first order partial derivative with respect to the first constant c1 equal to 0, then curly I over curly c2 equal to 0, curly I over curly c3, and similarly and so on and so forth, curly I over curly cn equal to 0. Solving these equations, we can get values of c1, c2 and cn. Now you have obtained the values of the constant c1, c2 and cn, and you can substitute these values in this part yx, what you have considered the choice function, and consequently you get the approximate solution of the boundary value problem given over here, and the boundary conditions are these. Now let us see one example. This is the first example. Find the approximate solution of this boundary value problem. So here you see this is the differential equation and these are the boundary conditions. Here we have y double dash equal to 1 with boundary conditions y at 0 and y at 1 equal to 1. This is equation 1 and this is equation 2. First we construct Iy, that is the functional, of which one is the Euler equation, for which you have to construct this Iy in such a way that when you form the Euler equation for that, the solution of that Euler equation must come out to be this one. So let us see how we can construct this. So how to think about formation of this kind of functional? From equation 1, we notice that it involves second order derivative of y. It involves second order y double dash, second order derivative of y. So definitely the Euler equation corresponding to 1, there must be involvement of y dash only. That means the Euler equation should be of this form, and in this equation, because your final Euler equation needs to have y double dash. So how y double dash come out means this term should give you the term y double dash, and this term should give you the term 1, because here you are having y double dash equal to 1, right? So when it is possible, if you choose f in such a way that f equal to y dash square plus 2y, then curly f over curly y is 2, curly f over curly y dash is 2y dash, and d by dx of this thing equal to 2y double dash. When you substitute these values over here in this equation, definitely you are going to have y double dash equal to 1. That means you have obtained such a value of this function f, due to which the solution of this Euler equation comes out to be like this, or due to this Euler equation, the fundamental Euler equation, we get y double dash equal to 1. So that was our first task in this method. Now the next one, the functional corresponding to 1, because as we have already mentioned that here this iy functional, and we have already get that this is capital F. So now this becomes the functional. Now choose the approximate solution of yx of 1 such that boundary conditions are satisfied. So you can choose the function in this way. And now the problem is that how this function is considered, because here you require the involvement of C1, C2 and Cn certain unknown constants, and this should be chosen in such a way that y of the boundary conditions must be satisfied. Here you are given that y at 0 is 0 and y at 1 is 1. So obviously this part is the main thing. This part is chosen in such a way that when you put here 0, so 0 0 all the things is 0, and when you put 1 here, 1 minus 1 again it is 0. So that way this is the suitable choice of the function. But this involves C1, C2 and n constant. You can restrict the choice of this function to one term. Suppose you are taking only the first term and you are not considering these. So still this yx is an approximate function where you can get y of 1 equal to 0. Sorry, this is 0. And again y of 0 is also 0. So for one term approximation, you can take yx is like this. Actually this is c1, but I am considering it as c. Now when yx is this, then y dash becomes c minus 2cx, the differentiation of this. Now you have obtained value of yx as well as y dash. Now substitute this value of y and y dash in equation 4 over here. You substitute the value. Once you substitute the value, the integral becomes like this. This integral becomes like this. And when you solve this integral, you get the integration over here, you get the integration here, and limits are 0 to 1. When you solve this, so you get value of I equal to this. Now there is involvement of only one constant c, and we want to find the extremum of this integral I. So for extremum, the condition is that the differentiation with respect to this variable thing c equal to 0. When you simplify this, you get value of c from this equation. So actually c is minus 1 by 2. So from equation 5, substituting the value of c, the solution comes out to be this one, y equal to this. So because by adjusting this negative sign, you can get y equal to this. This is the solution. So basically this is our approximate solution. This is our approximate solution. Approximate solution. Now we want to verify if this is the approximate solution, can we find the exact solution of this differential equation? Yes, we can find the exact solution of this differential equation, and that is quite simple. in this particular problem. You see, y double dash is 1, this is given, and these are the boundary conditions. Y double dash means second derivative equal to 1. You integrate on both sides with respect to x, we get this equation. B is the constant, arbitrary constant. Again integrate, you get this thing. Again, a is constant here. And boundary conditions are that y at 0 and y at 1 is 0. When you put 0 here, so y at 0, 0, 0, that a. But y at 0 is given to be 0 in the boundary condition over here. So a comes out to be 0. Now when you substitute this value of a over here in equation number 6, you get y equal to x square by 2 plus bx. Now again, you use this boundary condition that y at 1 is 0. You put x equal to 1 here, you get 1 by 2 b, and here y at 1. But y at 1 is also 0 given in the boundary condition over here. So this way b equal to minus 1 by 2. When you substitute a 0 here and b is minus 1 by 2, so consequently you get value of y equal to this, which is same, which is the exact solution. But here you can observe that in this particular problem, the approximate solution and the exact solution of this problem are same. But it is not necessarily possible in all the problems. So for example, you can see in the next one, here you have to solve this equation. So one method is for the solution of this problem to get the exact solution, and here we want to discuss the approximate solution using the methods of the calculus of variation, and the method which we are discussing here is the Rayleigh-Ritz method. So again, in this problem, our first task is to construct a functional Iy of which this equation 1 is the Euler equation. This equation 1 is the Euler equation. Now proceeding as in example 1, the functional in this case also involves terms up to y dash. So the Euler equation must be this. So as you can see here in the problem, you see this term should give us y double dash, and this term should give us minus y plus x, because there is involvement of this. So how we can obtain this type of situation? Here if we choose y f equal to this thing, then you can easily see this equation give you the Euler equation in this form, Euler equation in this form, and which is our given boundary value problem. So that means you have obtained value of f. Once you obtain value of f, you can form the corresponding functional, and the functional is given by this Iy equal to 0 to 1, and here f is this thing. So substitute it here. Next is a problem to find the approximate solution. So how to find the approximate solution in this case? You consider value of yx as in the earlier case, because in this case also you are given that y at 0, you are given that y at 0 and y at 1 both are 0. So in this way you can choose the approximate solution exactly in the same manner as in earlier case. This is yx, and consequently y dash x is this. These values of yx and y dash x now can be substituted in equation 4 here. Once you put these values in 4, this takes the form this one. Further simplification and integration of this thing, substituting the upper limit 1 and lower limit 0, will get value of I equal to this. This is 5 here, and this is c, actually c by 2. This is c by 2. So after simplification, you get I equal to this thing, I equal to 3c square by 10 minus 1 by 6 c. Now for extremum, you know, di by dc equal to 0. Then after simplifying this, you get value of c equal to 5 by 18. You have obtained value of the arbitrary or unknown constant is 5 by 18, and the approximate solution you have chosen over here is that yx equal to c. You substitute value of c over here, you get the approximate solution like this. The approximate solution is this. Now, what about the exact solution of this problem? So you see how to find the exact solution, and for the exact solution you should revisit your uh, earlier study regarding theory of differential equation or solutions of the differential equations. So you can see this, if you want to find the exact solution of this given differential equation over here, this one. So these are the boundary conditions. So how to find? You can write it in this form. Now you can write in symbolic form like this. And the auxiliary equation is this. So d, the value of d is plus minus iota, and corresponding to this, the complementary function is given by a cos x plus b sin x. Also, you have to find the particular integral. So how to find the particular integral in this case? This is the case when the non-homogeneous, basically this is non-homogeneous equation, and in the this is the case when the non-homogeneous part is a polynomial, minus x, you can write. So this is the polynomial. For the polynomial case, how you find the particular integral? Particular integral, you know, we write this part here and minus x, then you take it in the numerator and then open it like binomial expansion. And when you open it binomial expansion, then minus x is there. If you take it inside, when you take it, it means you have, if you take this minus x with this, then you have to differentiate it this term 2 times with respect to it. That gives you 0. And further terms also have higher powers of d, therefore all other terms will also be 0. And when you multiply this minus x with 1, you get minus x. So ultimately the particular integral in this case is this one, and the complementary function was this, a cos x plus b sin x. So the complete solution is given by yx equal to complementary function plus particular integral. So this is the complete solution, complete exact solution actually we can say. So now apply the boundary conditions to find the values of these unknown constants a and b. Y at 0 is 0, this is given. So when you put 0 here, sin 0 is 0, this is 0. So a cos 0 is 1. So y at 0, 0. And this is a, that means a equal to 0. When you put a equal to 0, so yx is this. Yx equal to b sin x minus x. Now put x equal to 1. Y of 1 equal to b sin 1 minus 1. But y of 1 is given to be 0 in the boundary condition. So here we can get value of b is 1 upon sin 1. So here you have obtained value of unknown constant a as well as the unknown constant b. You substitute these values in this equation. So we get the exact solution is yx equal to sin x sin 1 minus x. So definitely the exact solution and the approximate solution in this case are different. Let us, because here I have written that we are doing certain sort of verification whether the approximate solution obtained in this manner is fine or if there is some problem. So that way the form of the functional is totally different. This is a polynomial type, the approximate solution, and this is involving the trigonometric function. The exact solution involves the trigonometric function as well as the polynomial function. So let us check whether from these we can get same kind of the values. Suppose we are substituting x equal to 0.5 in equation 6, that is in the approximate solution. This one you are substituting x equal to 0.5 or 1 by 2. So after solving this for 0.5, we get y at 0.5 is this one. This is the approximate value. And when we find 0.5 value of y at 0.5 from the exact solution, that is from equation 7, this is 0.070. That means they are very close. So you can say the exact solution and the approximate solutions are very close. Now the natural question is the mind can come, if there is a wider variation between these approximate solution, between this approximate solution approximate solution and the exact solution, then what should we do? In that case we should increase the number of constants in the approximate solution. Then here we could have added one more constant. That means the solution could have This approximate solution could have been chosen in this way: x square, x minus x square, and then c1 plus c2x. So actually you could have used two constants. More the number of constants, more the approximate solution will be closer to the exact solution. So this is the idea here. So we have given you the solution of two examples here, and based on the discussion and these examples you can try these three exercises. So for this I have already given the hint here how you can choose the functional here. Now for the next two I have given the written there uh, solutions, the answer of these two problems, and you should try to find the functional itself. These problems related to these can for more problems you can consult this book. This is a very classical book. Thank you.